Hidden on the Isle of Man is one of the most breathtaking car collections I've ever seen, and today we're going to take the opportunity to look around and talk about a few of them. There's far too many cars here and we can't go through each individual one, but we'll go for a walk through and then just identify some and then talk about them in more detail as we get there. So you can't help but notice this dragon funeral hearse. It's golden on top and it's based on a Fleetwood Cadillac, a 1993 model. If you just go around, it's got this real ornate dragon motif on top. They really like to do funerals in style in Japan, it seems. But yeah, that's something you can't miss here. So yeah, let's keep going. Actually, behind me is a very interesting, quirky car. It's the green Aston Martin Lagonda. It has pop-up headlights, and it was, in the early 80s, Aston Martin basically invested in making this. I'm not sure if it was a great sales success, but it definitely is really quirky. You've got obviously the pop-up headlights, and the tech inside was really it's of its time now, but it was quite revolutionary at the time. You've got the touch sensitive buttons, the interesting sort of screen, you call it. It's very sort of 1980s in there, and the very plush leather, etc. And then right next to it we have this beautiful Bentley Turbo, which is finished in this phenomenal green color. And what I love about this one is the story that they've basically told. And it was a person who wanted to invest his money but didn't trust the banks, so he bought these cars instead, and it came to the museum's hands once the person had died, and they bought these cars off them. So yeah, it's such a striking colour. I mean, these sort of era Bentleys have the mineral oil system, so they're not the most reliable in the suspension, but when they do run, they sound amazing. And yeah, it looks like a stately home is basically hurtling towards you as it drives down the road. So yeah, I really like this one. But the next one I want to show you is just around here. It's a Mercedes. It's a Mercedes 600, and it's ubiquitous with heads of state, dictators all across the world. It's a massive, it's got a lot of presence, and it's phenomenally comfortable. And Mercedes of the time were known for making, over-engineering things to the nth degree. The chrome here, the door handles, the plush seats, and then the forest worth of wood inside. This is just a testament to the quality of Mercedes back in the day. This particular model is from 1965, and it's one of the family who run the museum. It's one of their personal cars, and it's finished in this lovely sort of blue colour. And then moving on, they've also got these project cars. It's just interesting to see that not all these cars came into the museum like finished showpieces. They've got, they came in like rusty, and a lot of work, for example, is pending on this one. But it'd be phenomenal to take it through the stages and see where it ends up. Yeah, so this is one of the Bangle era 7 Series. This particular version is an Alpina B7. So Alpina is a tuning company, sort of like AMG is for Mercedes, but they're a separate sort of company, and then they basically take the regular BMW and then soup it up, increase the power, put on these fantastic quintessential Alpina wheels, and then they do certain upgrades as well to the interior with the Alpina logo plastered here and there. This is also one of a family car, and I mean, for 2005 it's got sort of phenomenal power, 500 brake horsepower. So yeah, another very cool one. Very controversial though in terms of its styling at the time, but I think they still look quite cool. There's so much, you know, American muscle cars slash big land yachts here as well. I mean, I don't profess to know much about them, so I won't go into too much detail, but they all look phenomenal. So this one is interesting. This is a Toyota Century. It's basically Japanese equivalent to the Rolls-Royce. So this is a Toyota subsidiary, and it's they basically create these luxury barges, and the build quality is phenomenal on these ones. This is from 1991, and you know, it doesn't seem like that. I mean, it's very Japanese. Even the most latest version is paying an homage to this original version. So yeah, moving on from that, we sort of enter a bit more of a modern era, the sort of early 90s, and then, you know, you can't help but look at this yellow Porsche. It kind of reminds me of my 986 Boxster, the colour, but obviously the parallels end there. This is an RS 993, and it's you can see the really interesting body kit it's got on it, the exposed bolts, the flared wheel arches at the back, and this, you know, phenomenal spoiler that you've got. You know, it's a really iconic looking car. I've just spotted some things over here, so this is a W8 Volkswagen Passat. So just imagine how much power this one has. So it's a 4-litre W8 engine, and the W8 was also used in the Bugatti Chiron as well, a bigger version of this. And to put it in a Passat is quite funny actually. But yeah, this must go down the road very fast. Very interesting piece to have here as well. I don't think they would make anything like this today. The next car I want to show you is a bit of nostalgia for me, because I learned to drive in a white Peugeot 106. I know it's not the same. This is a 206 GTI, you know, the proper version with the special seats, and it's a really nice example because these things often have rusted out, the ones that were in production or the ones that were being used. I love the sort of decals here, very 90s. The white, for me, the standout feature of the car is obviously the white alloys here, which really you know, hark back to its racing or rally pedigree. Yeah, the interior is something to behold as well, with the bolsters and the red inlays in the middle of the seats. So yeah, I really like this one because of the nostalgic value. So this one is a 1956 Dodge. It just stands out because of the colours. I've just read the plaque, and apparently it was aimed at women drivers because of the nice colours. At the time, this was a bit of a sales flop, but during the 2 decades since, it's proven itself as a very stylish car. It was very ahead of its time. It was a 2-door coupe MPV thing. I think one of the reasons why it didn't really succeed was people weren't sure what it actually was, what market it catered for. Was it the MPV market? Was it the you know, luxury market? The price was definitely way beyond that, and you know, an average MPV customer. So yeah, it didn't do that well, but styling wise, it's quite amazing. You know, with the big 2 doors and the interior. You know, it was marketed as a luxury family car. This was hailed as the rebirth of the rotary engine for Mazda back in the early 2000s, mid to late 2000s. It's a RX-8 with the rotary engine, something I always dreamed of owning when they first came out. But the problem is the rotary engine is very unreliable, and it sort of eats a lot of oil, and it requires overhauling quite often. So unfortunately, they've not really held the value, but it's a fantastic thing to look at. It also has the suicide doors that open outward like this, and styling wise, I think they look great, and they were great to drive as well. I have driven one, but unfortunately, ownership isn't a great prospect because of the reliability issues of the RX-8. The Dodge Viper V10. This was a childhood dream car of mine. I had a die-cast model of this one in the same color, so it's amazing to see it in real life. It has a stonking great 8.2 litre V10 engine, and yeah, I mean, there's not much else you can say. It's just basically an engine with two seats, and the interior was very 90s GM product, so not very fancy. But rarely it has a manual transmission, which yeah, it must be really fun to drive. If there was one car I would drive off with today, given the opportunity, it would be this. It's the 612 Scaglietti in the very custom Ferrari red with the beige interior, and the biggest draw to this car is the manual gearbox. There wasn't many that were developed with a manual gearbox, and it's also a four-seater, so you can take the family along with you. So yeah, I love the Pininfarina design of this one, and the alloy wheels are a bit different to the usual ones. I may have different ones if it was my own car, but yeah, it's a fantastic Grand Tourer, and yeah, definitely one I would take. That brings my roundup of cars from the Isle of Man Motor Museum to an end. If you enjoyed this video, watch my next one where we have a workshop tour. Please subscribe and comment on the videos if you like what you see.